told me not to do.
You did it perfectly. Thank you, Fletcher. You can set him right there on top of that. And you want to come up and say hi real quick before you go?
Hi.
Say good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Charlotte.
Charlotte. You're so silly. Okay, I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thanks for starting us off. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday for sure. Yay, Veronica. It's first time doing it live. Yay. Good morning. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Joni. Hi, Edie. I think I saw my lovely Paula on there. Good morning, Paula. All right, we'll give it one more minute and then... Good morning, Claudia. All right. I'm gonna get set up and we'll get rocking. Let me make sure everything looks good. All right. Awesome. Oh, sunny morning. Thank goodness. Hopefully it's sunny from wherever you're practicing this morning. Oh, goodness. That feels like just such an extra special gift right now. Blazing sunshine. Spring. Spring has found us, hopefully. So let's go ahead and find our seat this morning. And when I started just wrapping my head around practice this morning and just kind of seeing where the tides would guide me, I was really drawn to the idea of balance today. And all of us are in a state that is different than our normal state. I'm resisting calling it the new normal because I'm hoping it's not going to be the new normal, but you know, what it is now is different, and regardless, we are all living different versions of different, and I know personally one of the biggest challenges has been finding the balance in all of it, right? And just balancing out how many batches of cookies I make in a week. And but seriously, but balancing out, you know, all of the different roles that we all fill, kind of being compressed and put into this one space. It's a really interesting challenge, and the last few days I have felt like I have not been doing a very good job of anything. So trying to seek balance, and I know that whatever we establish on our mats is just such a beautiful way for us to embody the metaphor of what we're seeking in our everyday life, and we talk about that in class all the time. So we'll work today on balancing poses, and again, those of you that have practiced with me before know, especially with my little assistance inspiration, that approaching balance from a way in our postures and perhaps in life as well, as a playful exploration, right? We as adults, you know, we come into our balancing poses and it's sort of this like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it really good. And that doesn't usually serve us very well. Finding the flux, and when we watch, you know, small children as they learn to balance for the first time standing upright or just sitting, and then their progression through their physical skills, it's always playful and it's always fun, and when you fall over, it's super funny. And that's such a beautiful reminder for us that balance perhaps is not something that we are supposed to hold on to with our white knuckles exposed, that if we can embrace the fluctuations of it, embrace the fun of it, the playfulness of it. And I know that can be tricky right now. It has definitely been tricky for me. So let's see what we can do on our mat. Let's see if we can make some playful balancing magic on our mats that will help inspire us to be playfully in the flow of things once we roll our mats up and tackle this beautiful day ahead of us. So let's close our eyes and just settle into your seat. Support yourself as you need to. Lift your hips up a little bit, perhaps with a blanket or a beach towel, or even your block if you have one. And as you come into your seat, just allow your torso to lean forward a little bit. And then take your shoulders back behind your hips a little bit. Take yourself to one side and then the other. And eventually settling into a place where you feel your shoulders just naturally balanced in line with your hips, your ears in line with your shoulders. Closing your eyes and softening inward and just feeling yourself breathing. Starting with your natural flow of breath. And you may have already switched into your yogic breathing, and that's fine too, but if you haven't, that's okay. Just be with your breath, observe as your body breathes in and your body breathes out. As you continue to breathe, go ahead and allow the front of the belly, in front of the torso, to soften, so that as you breathe in, your belly can puff and expand and fill. And as you breathe out, drawing that belly button in gently to help release every last bit of breath before you begin again. Beginning to expand the breath. Staying with the steadiness of your breath. We're going to move into Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. So with your dominant hand, you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger and rest them in the space between your eyebrows. And then alternately, you're going to use your thumb and your ring finger on that same hand to block one side of your nose. So we'll go ahead and exhale all the way out. And as you inhale, we're going to block the left side of the left nostril, and breathe in the right. At the top of that inhale, we're going to switch sides and exhale out the left. And go ahead and inhale in the left. Swapping at the top to exhale out the right. So essentially we're switching sides at the top of each inhale. And I'll talk you through it a few more times and then I'll let you go. Inhale in the right. Switch to exhale out the left. In the left. Switch to exhale out the right. And we'll move through one more round of breath that way. The next time you exhale out the right side, we'll release the breath back to its natural rhythm. Taking your time. And again, the next time you exhale out the right side, releasing your hands, releasing your breath back to its natural rhythm. We'll take the hands facing upward, backs of the hands resting on the knees. And just take a few moments to feel any changes in the body, any changes in the state of your mind. Just taking a few moments to be with yourself right now. And from there, let's take the hands to the heart, resting them in prayer pose, and bring your thumbs to rest against the center of your heart. And we'll soften the head towards the heart and just take a moment to dedicate your practice. Dedicate your practice to whoever it is in your life who you'd like to shine some light upon. Maybe it's the people in your house that are allowing you to have this time. Maybe it's somebody that you are separated from or you're missing. Perhaps it's someone in your life who is one of the essential workers who is still out doing what they do to keep our world functioning. Maybe it's the person in your life who is at the most risk in these times. I've been noticing when I check in with people, that always becomes part of the conversation. We all have at least one person in our life who is more at risk, and so maybe that's the person you're going to hold steady and dedicate your practice to. And perhaps it's you today who needs to be held, who needs to be celebrated. So be clear. Allow that intention to settle into the heart space. And then taking the next moment or two to feel all of us that are gathered and practicing together today. heart that is settled on their mat, open to this practice and gathered with the same intention or a similar intention. And send some loving kindness in those directions. How lucky we are to be interwoven together in this moment. And let's weave our voices together to celebrate that connection, to allow our sounds to intermingle. We'll chant Om together, drawing a deep breath in. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, have a soft gaze in the space. And let's come to all fours. So we'll come onto our hands and our knees. Spreading your fingertips wide and rooting down into your index finger knuckles. Just take a moment and really tune into the surface of your mat underneath your hands. Feel the earth beneath your mat and really press down strongly into that firm surface. Allowing your shoulders to spread wide across your back and just press up into the space between the shoulders. Allowing the crown to float forward, feel your tailbone reaching right back behind you and really feel the fullness, both in the length of the spine and through the width of the torso. And just send a few breaths into the sides of your rib cage. Really allow yourself to expand as you breathe in. Soften towards the midline as you breathe out. And let's tuck our toes. Let's tuck the left toes under. Stretch that heel back behind you. So again, we're active in the upper body. We're strong, we're alive, not held or tense, but definitely engaged, active. See if you can't reach a little bit more through the crown of the head, lengthening through the neck. And it may feel good to kind of rock back through that heel and then rock forward towards the head a little bit. And then coming back into the center, float that leg up off the mat. Let's take a tabletop stretch. As you lift the leg, feel a gentle lift in the belly, just a little brightening. And if you want to add the opposite arm, we'll reach the opposite arm forward. And the body might start to respond. You might have to adjust. You may start to feel some small wiggling or shifting in the body. And so let's just stay with that. Let it happen. Let our balancing poses be alive. On your next breath in, lift that leg, lift the arm a little higher, take your focus up, and then let's plant the knee, plant the hand, round up into cat pose, and stretch back to child's. Releasing the forearms down onto the mat. Glide your body forward. Press into the hands as you scoop up to cow. Exhale, round and lift. Stretch it back. And let's do that again. Inhale. Gliding through, press into the hands, scoop up. And exhale. To round and lift, stretch back. One more time, gliding forward. Press up, and then we'll release to neutral spine. Let's go to the second side. So right heel is going to stretch back. Again, check in. Make sure that those index finger knuckles are rooted down towards the mat so that we're not collapsing on the wrists, on the heels of the hands. The whole surface of the hand is working to support our body. And again, if you want to rock a little bit, reaching through the head and then back through the heel. Feel your breath as you take that gentle movement. And then coming back into the center, we'll float that leg up off the mat. Take a moment, little bit of lift through the space of the belly. Pushing away from the earth and the arms. You can take that opposite hand forward and play with the balance. Let yourself adjust. Take one more breath in. Let's lift and brighten everything. And then exhale back down to the mat. Round up into the space of the back and slide to the heels. Elbows release down. Inhale as you glide through. Press into the hands and stretch up. Really following your breath. Make that movement extra juicy. That's one of the things Fletcher has taken to say about me. Mom, you're so juicy. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that comment, but I guess it's a good thing. Let's go through one more time. Extra juice, huh? And this time as we glide through and come up into table, let's again release to neutral spine. Let's go back to our first side. So left foot is going to reach back. And let's take the right arm up. Take some time to balance. From there, we'll inhale, lift a little higher. And then as we exhale, lift up into cat. Release it. Second side lifts. Take a moment. Lift a little higher. Exhale and release. So let's move with our breath. We'll take it dynamically. First side. Inhale as you lift up, look up. Exhale, slow transition, round into that back space. And we'll go again. Big breath in, slow movement. Take your time. Get in, lift it up. Let's go one more time each side. Try not to rush it. Extra credit for going slowly. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to scoop into the back from your cat pose. Go ahead and slide back to your heels. Take a few breaths as you fold and soften forward. Really breathing into the space of the back. Allowing yourself to expand on the inhale. Soften on the exhale. And if you'd like, you can lift your hips up a little higher, shift over towards the left heel, and kind of sit back down. And you can use your hands to kind of press a little deeper into that diagonal stretch. Or you can just let it be easy. And we'll inhale up through the center over to the other side. And back into the center. Let's rock forward to the hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Exhale back. And just take some time to ease into your down dog. Again, spreading those fingertips, press down into your index finger knuckles as you stretch back. Feel free to pedal the heels. Give yourself a really big breath in. Take a big breath out. And bending the knees, we'll just slowly walk up to the front edge of the mat. So take your time. Bend those knees deeply. Come up onto the fingertips as you need to. Take your time as you walk to the front side of your mat. Be nice to your hammies. Be nice to your whole system. How about that? That sounds good. Root down, come halfway up. Lift and lengthen into Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, bow your heart forward. Let's bend the knees.
Let your arms release nice and heavy, head is heavy. We're just gonna slowly roll up, stacking the vertebra of the spine. Take your time with that beautiful stacking of the pieces.
Reaching the arms wide as you come up. Really big, bright reach. Upward salute, it's called, right? So really reach, salute the sun, salute the beautiful banner of sky above us. Root down into your feet, into your legs, towards the earth. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, reaching up. Let's grab a hold of the right wrist, slide the shoulder down the back and take a side bend, make some space. Softening in the shoulder, really breathing into that opening that you're making. Feel your spaciousness and then breathe into that spaciousness. Root down into the legs. We'll inhale through the center, grab a hold of the opposite wrist, slide the shoulders down the back and side bend. Inhale as you reach through. Let's open the heart. Stand strong on the legs. Reach bright through the fingertips. Thumbs are going to come to the low back. Stand really strong on your legs. Roll the shoulders to your back. Hug your elbows. Heart reaches bright forward and up. Send your heart towards the sun. Oh yeah, let it be your little solar panel. So as you reach your heart up, let the sun charge that beautiful space. Inhale, let's reach the arms up. As you exhale, we're gonna sit right back into chair. Inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale from the belly, draw the belly in to fold over the legs, reach the arms back behind you. Inhale, nice long body. Exhale, from the center, fold forward, bow over those legs. One more time. And exhale, over the legs. From there, press down into your legs, reach up nice and bright. Root down, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway up, make some space, make some length. Exhale as you fold. Let's take the left leg back into lunge. And again, feel the entire length of the body here. Feel that crown floating forward. Feel the back heel stretching right back behind you. I'm going to switch sides. From there, walking the hand up onto the front thigh. Lean forward for a moment. Root down into your legs. Draw your heels together gently. And then reach them apart at the same time. Excuse me. From there, we're going to inhale and sweep up. Feel that sense of lifting from the very center line of the body, from the belly button all the way up through the crown. As you exhale, hug the inner thighs towards each other from the belly. Bow forward over that lunge. And then inhale and reach yourself back up. And if that balance is feeling kind of crazy, you can bring your hand to your front thigh to support and just lean forward and then lengthen to open. Let's do that one more time. Exhaling, forward fold over that lunge. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Ooh, hello balance. Spin your back heel down. And let's come into warrior two. So outer spiraling that front thigh, sitting deep into the legs. Soften and widen across the upper body. Let's actually flip the palms so that they rest upward. And the sun is so bright coming in this morning that my hand that's towards the window just got super warm. So let's go with that image, as if you have beautiful orbs of light in both palms. Hold them steady, hold them tenderly, soften across the shoulders. Sit a little deeper into the legs and take yourself back to that person that you're dedicating your practice to. And imagine these beautiful orbs of light as offerings to them, to their spirit, to their well-being. On your next breath in, root down, reach up, take those arms all the way up overhead. Let's turn the toes to the wide side of the mat and exhale forward. Give yourself a rock from side to side. Nice big breath. And then as you rock your hips from side to side, let that movement echo through the spine. Let your spine sway here. Release the head, let the head move with it. Like your spine is a beautiful long bristles of a paintbrush. And they're just following the movement of the hips. And from there, we'll walk to the back side of our mat. So we're going to lunge towards the second side here. Take a moment, breathing into the space of the legs. Feel yourself connected head to heel. Find your breath. And from there, we'll take the hands up onto that front thigh and lean forward just a bit. And get yourself really long. Feel the energy through the back heel. Link through the spine all the way through the crown of the head. Let's press down into the front thigh as we lift and brighten. So feeling that energy along the midline of the body, from the belly button, drawing all the way up. When you're ready, if you're ready, take those arms up overhead. Feel a gentle hugging in on both inner thighs towards that midline. From the belly, exhale and fold forward. Arms reach back. And again, you have the option of using your hand down on your mat or on your block or resting on your front thigh. We'll inhale as we open and we'll exhale as we fold forward. Clearly, balance was the theme that my body needed. Woo! Let's go one more time. Again, don't fight it. Ride the waves of the adjusting that needs to happen in the body. As you inhale and reach up this time, spin that back heel down and open into warrior two. Sit nice and deep into the strength and power of the legs. Reaching the arms, flip the palms. And again, as you offer the palms upward, let the shoulders soften across the space of the back. So there's a tenderness, there's a caring quality in the space of the hands that will hopefully translate into the work of the shoulders and the upper arms. So there's strength here, but it's balanced with ease. And the beauty of this gesture in the yogic tradition of the palms open is that it's a reminder of our limitless ability to both give and receive. So on the second side, as you feel those orbs of light, or you're just tapping into the sensation of the palms, make an offering to yourself of steadiness, of love, a blessing of your spirit. Inhale, and let's press that front leg long, turn the toes to the wide side of the mat, and we'll exhale forward into forward fold. And this time we'll hold our straddle a little more steady. If you need to bend your knees, go for it. You can reach for your ankles, your big toes. You can just keep your hands underneath you. But just feel the steadiness. Feel the way your weight is balanced on the right side and the left side. Right here in this broad stance, feel how balanced you are. Feel the work of the feet, your hard-working little puppies, supporting you all day long, balancing you, negotiating the space, propelling you forward, balancing you in place. breathe into your foundation.
From here, let's bend our knees. Drop your tailbone and we're going to just roll up to standing. Again, really take your time. Stacking the vertebra of the spine.
And as you come upright, we'll heel toe, those feet in to be right underneath us. And let's go ahead and reach the arms down. We'll flip the palms outward. So you're just going to turn your thumbs in. And then cross one hand over the other, interlace the fingers, and draw those hands in to the heart. Feel yourself really even on the inner and outer edges of your feet. Go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Feel yourself standing at your full height, your full breadth, your full width. Even standing on both feet with our eyes closed, you'll feel those small shifts. Your body is constantly negotiating how to keep us upright, how to keep us steady. And that's the nature of things, right? Some trees are super tall and upright. On my walk yesterday, I was looking at these three trees alongside a house that were all growing so far to one side, clearly echoing the effects of wind or snow load, and they are flourishing and beautiful, but they are not upright at all. They are very much growing to the side. That's the incredible force and wisdom within nature to allow us to adapt as we need to. Let's go ahead and cross one leg over the other and see if you can't adjust so that you're standing on both feet as evenly as possible. It's funky, so if you're feeling the funk, right on. Feel yourself adapt to that change in your foundation. See if you can't still stand at your fullness. Breathing into your fullness. And then uncrossing that leg, we're going to turn the leg that was just crossed over out to the side. All right, and take a moment here. I haven't said right or left, so just take note of which leg you're working with so that you'll know your second side. So we're going to come into tree pose and go ahead and draw that leg up, the standing leg, as far as you're comfortable. You can release your hands if you want to bring it in a little higher. And you can take that same twisted clasp, or you can simply take your hands to prayer pose. But feel yourself root down strong into your foundation and lengthen and lift through the crown. Feel the front of the ribs soften so that we're not exaggerating and coming into a big old back bend. We're just feeling ourselves at neutral. Can expand the arms out. Reach your fingertips through our virtual space to one another. Clasp hands in your heart. And then from there, let's go ahead and lift the heart so much that we find a gentle back bend. And that may be tricky. We can do tricky. Worst thing that can happen is that we take our foot down to find our balance. That is not such a terrible consequence in the grand scheme of things. Let's bring our hands back. Go ahead and turn that knee to face forward. So we're going to release the foot and just point that knee, your bent knee forward. Let's bend our standing leg. And from there, we're going to tilt, hinge forward from the hips, get long through the spine. And then slowly reach that foot up towards the sky. Knee stays, both knees stay bent.
If you need to, you can always bring your fingertips down to the mat. We're going to inhale, bring it back through. Whoa, come on, Jenny. There we go. Come back through. Body is leaning forward. Then take the torso upright and stretch your front or your standing leg long. So we're going to bend the standing leg, lift the knee. Exhale, hinge forward. And then slowly come through. Flexing that foot, reaching towards the sky, both knees bent. Bring yourself back through. Torso comes upright, leg stretches long. And from there, one more time, bend that standing leg, lift the knee, hinge forward. Woo-wee. And we'll dive through. Remember, playful and fun. Not a big deal, just a little yoga. Bring yourself back through. Take a moment with the foot on the mat. If you need to, draw that knee, torso upright, leg upright. Woo! Plant that foot. Take a deep breath in as you reach up. We'll exhale into our forward fold. Bend your knees, wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself some love. Whew. Releasing your hands down to the earth. Go ahead and stretch your legs a little bit longer. Come up high on the fingertips. Really root down into your foundation. Exhale. Fold forward. Feel free to put a gentle bend in the knees if you need to. Try as much as you can to release the weight of the head. And again, let's soften the knees over the toes, from the tailbone up. Slowly roll yourself to standing. Let's take that upward salute. Root down into the legs. Reach bright, gathering in the sunlight. Exhale, bring that energy right down to the space of the heart. And again, let's release our hands down, flip the palms. This time go to the side that doesn't feel as natural as you interlace. And then take your opposite leg across. And as much as you can, stand steady on both legs. Root down as you stretch up. Feel yourself adjust. See if you can't even out the distribution of your weight. Feel your breath come steady. And then we'll uncross that leg. Turn it out to the side. Take a moment to root into your foundation. Really feel yourself brighten and lift so that we're not collapsed over and kind of hanging out in the standing leg, in the hip of the standing leg. Draw it right underneath and lift, 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 lift. And hands can stay crossed or they can come into prayer as we come into tree pose. And it may feel like today you are one of those windswept trees. How beautiful. And our trees show us, especially, I have lots of valley dwellers and mountain dwellers tuning in. We all know the power of the wind, right? And we know what happens to trees that aren't able to bend and sway with the breeze. So as we find our balance and challenge ourselves to be a single pointed being, we draw inspiration from that and let ourselves move with it, move with the flow. Extending those arms and really reach the fingertips. Reach your fingertips out towards your community, your immediate community, those that you're sheltering with if you are with other people, those beyond the walls of our homes and our neighborhoods. Reach even farther beyond that into our towns, across our state lines. Keep reaching as we open the heart. We're going to open our heart and extend and reach that energy all the way across the boundaries of our country,
of our continent. Ooh, it's a big reach all the way around our planet. Offering love, offering stability to all of those who are suffering and struggling right now. Hold them steady. Open that heart. Take a smile to it. We'll bring our hands back to our hearts. Let's point that bent knee forward. And take a moment. Root down into your standing leg. If you need a little break, that's okay. Take a little break. Bring that foot down. Reestablish your balance. This is a big, effortful motion. So take it as you need to. If you're not down with it today, stand in mountain. Cross your hands. Hold your heart. You know what you need to do. Let's exhale and bend the standing leg. Hinge forward, long spine as you fold towards the knee. Then take your time, both knees stay bent as we fold forward. Reach that foot up towards the sky. And then come back through, draw the knee in, leaning forward. Again, really take your time with the transition. Torso comes upright, standing leg lengthens. Exhale, draw the knee up as you bend into your standing leg, folding forward, hinge at the hips to start. From there we bow forward. And I am doing a wonderful job of demonstrating super challenging wiggles. Draw the knee in, torso lifts and lengthens, root down to stretch up. Let's do that one more time. We got this. Fold forward as you soften into that standing leg. Take your time. Again, you can take your hands to your mat if that's helpful. We'll take it through one more time. Leaning forward, draw that knee in. Torso comes upright. Standing leg lengthens. Release the foot down. Let's take the hands to our sides. Standing in mountain pose. So that series I learned from Rusty Wells. Wonderful, beautiful, heartful Bhakti yogi. Also a butt kicker, clearly. So be with your breath, feel your heart beating, feel your body breathing. Let's take the hands to prayer pose. We're going to go ahead and cross that leg over once again. Reaching your arms out to the side. So look at the leg that's crossed on top, and you're going to cross the opposite arm on top. And then loop your bottom elbow to support. So this is version 1. If your shoulders are really tight, this may be the perfect place. If you want to go a little deeper, you can link your thumb to your pinky, or you can take the palms together. So we're moving into Garudasana, or eagle pose. So we start with our eagle wings tucked in. And then from there, we're going to sit down into chair with the legs crossed. And you might be able to take your top leg and wrap that foot around your standing leg. My body doesn't do that. So for me, the foot is floating. If you need a little more balance, you can take the toes of the top leg and take them to the mat. But we're just going to sit back here. And really feeling all of the energy of the body spiraling around the central core. Yeah? So that beautiful sense of energy just coiling through the center line of the body. And we'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. Soften the shoulders. From there, we'll untwist. Reach your body full and come down back to mountain. Let's take the hands to the heart. Cross the top leg over. And then peek down if you need to. Opposite arm crosses on top. Again, take the loop with the elbow to start. Maybe take thumb to pinky. Maybe palm to palm. And once you have your arms situated, really allow those shoulders to soften down the space of the back. Feel your spine nice and long. And then we'll start to sit back into chair. Well, chair with crossed legs. And if the cross-legged thing is bothering your knee or you're just not feeling it, you can always just bring the feet alongside each other and come into chair. Hugging in towards that central line. Allow that energetic flow to just spiral along the center channel of you, of your physical form. Let's take one more breath here. And then uncoil, stretch wide, and come back into mountain pose. Standing tall, standing full. Let's inhale. Root down really slowly. Lift the arms up. And as you exhale, just pour down the center line. Soften the chin towards the chest. Soften in your hips, your knees, your ankles as you pour your body forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you fold forward. Take your hands to your mat. Walk yourself back into down dog. Really push away from the hands, get long through the spine. You can bend your knees, you can shift your hips from side to side. You can take a little cat-cow and kind of roll through. On your next breath in, float yourself forward to plank. Take just a moment there to feel your strength. Press down into those hands to lift up. We'll exhale, soften to the knees. And rock back into child's. Starting at the base of the spine, let's inhale and roll ourselves up to seated. Coming off the feet, we'll reach the legs out long, coming into Paschimottanasana. So, walking your hips back, your sits bones back so they're right underneath you. You can kind of move your cheeks out of the way if there's cheeks to move. Feel yourself rooted down. Feel the length along the back of the legs, really reaching through the heels. Flex your feet. If it's helpful, you can bring your hands alongside your body and kind of press down to get really tall through the spine. Feel the places where you're plugged into the earth and really root down into those places. We're going to inhale and stretch the arms up overhead. As you exhale, fold forward over those legs. Then release your hands to your mat, soften through your neck, and roll yourself back up. Inhale as the arms reach. Strong through the legs as we exhale, fold forward, and then stack that spine back upright. And again. One more time. Inhale and lift up. This time, take your feet about as wide as your yoga mat, so a little bit wider as you exhale and fold forward. And soften your arms wherever they need to be so that your shoulders can be easy on your back as opposed to scooped up by your ears. And let's walk our hands over towards one side. Again, root down into the legs. Let's lift halfway up as we inhale. Exhale to fold in. And then walking through the center and over towards the other side. Again, inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold in. And releasing back into the center. We'll inhale, roll ourselves up. And bending your knees, scooch forward a little bit if you need to, and we'll come onto our backs. So let's just rock and roll. Really round through the spine, look to your belly. And if rocking and rolling is uncomfortable for your spine, then you can just rest on your back and hug your knees in. I know Tina doesn't, it hurts Tina's little spine to rock like that. So don't rock, Tina. Soften onto your back, my dear. And if you are on your back, go ahead and come upright one more time. Let's do one more balancing pose. Let's work on Pariparnanavasana, or bow pose. So really lift and lengthen through the low back, soften across the shoulders. And lift your shins, feel that belly button drawing in as you lift and lengthen. Softening across the shoulders. You can release the arms if that feels good. If that's a little too much, just keep the clasp behind the knees. Keep lifting. And this is always a good chance to check in. Give yourself a smile, soften across your eyebrows. Believe it or not, a scowl does not help us balance. All right. If you'd like, you can stretch one leg long, alternate, or you can reach both legs long, or you can just stay with whatever variation. Just keep breathing. Let's go for 2 more rounds of breath here. Lift, lift, lift. Nice and bright. Shine like the sun. Yahoo! And as you exhale, round your spine, soften onto your back, hug those knees in. Give yourself a little rock from side to side, or draw some circles with your knees. And give yourself a really tight squeeze, drawing your nose up to your knees, pulling those knees in. And releasing back, let's plant the feet on the mat. And walk your feet as wide as your mat and just let your knees fall towards each other for a moment. Really letting the hip crease soften on both sides. Let the bowl of your belly just soften and kind of settle back towards your mat. Let your shoulders rest easy and wide. You can adjust your arms, take cactus or take a T, or keep your hands resting on your belly. Super dangerous. The sun is coming onto my face. I could just take a total cat nap here, but I promise I won't. On the off chance you have something to do after class, I will not fall asleep here. Oh my goodness. And gently parting the knees, walk those feet so that they are roughly in line with your sits bones. Take the arms alongside the body. Let's take a bridge pose. We'll root down into the upper arms to press up, lifting the hips. Adjust your feet as you need to so that you feel supported. You're welcome to tuck your arms underneath you, clasp your hands. Arms can rest alongside or they can come up overhead. Carrie and Taylor and I were joking that I was going to do a class that way. Just lay everybody down in Shavasana in the first moment, and that was that. See you in an hour. We are really slowing down, folks. Oh, goodness. Not today. And starting at the top of the spine, releasing across your shoulders, slowly start to roll your spine down and really take your time here, like you're laying the pieces of your spine down onto your mat. All the way down through that tricky part of the low back. Good. And then again, take your feet wide, let your knees rest against each other. I just took a peek at the feed, and I'm so tickled to see all of you out there. My amazing sister-in-law, I am. Sweet Carly. My friend Leanne, one of my oldest friends in the world, one of my dance buddies from, oh my gosh, from Big Hair Gigantic Bang days. Love you, Lee. Good morning. So cool. Definitely a silver lining in this situation is connecting with folks this way. It's just the most wild process. Really quite special. All right. Let's part those knees, keeping your feet wide. Open your arms to a T or to cactus. We'll exhale and just windshield wiper your legs over to one side. Take a big breath in and exhale like you are letting every bit of it go. Just let yourself sink down towards your mat. As you inhale, just spill your weight back into your mat to come through the center. Exhale over to the other side. You can let your head turn to look away from the knees. Let's take a really big breath in once again. Exhale to release every last bit out as you soften and sink back towards your mat. Inhaling to come back into the center. Let's stretch the legs up, arms up, roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, open those knees, coming into happy baby. And give yourself a little rock from side to side. Again, big breath in. Let's shush it out. Drawing the knees together. Hug yourself in. Curl it up. Stretch your legs down long, arms overhead, full body stretch. Taking your arms down alongside your body as you prepare for Shavasana. And if you need a support under your knees or a little cushion behind your spine, or your socks on, or maybe you want to wiggle your mat. I'm just assuming everybody has sunshine pouring into their house, which is not a good assumption, I guess. But if you want to move into the sunshine, if that's happening where you're at, do it. Whatever you need to be as comfortable and as supported as possible as you prepare for our final relaxation, our Shavasana, our corpse pose. One last chance to let it all go. To embrace the stillness, to embrace quiet. And balance, and the notion of balance is so essential to our yoga practice that the practice ends with this, right? With no asana besides, aligning your spine, and then we find stillness, because we can't just be active all the time. I don't know about all of you, but that has so much been my lesson the last month, is how do we feel fulfilled? How do we feel as though what we're doing matters, when it's just the simple things that we're doing? So trust in the stillness of Shavasana. Allowing yourself to settle back fully into it. Feeling the gentle waves of your breath. I'm going to share a poem by Anne Brigman this morning, Wild Trees That Stand Apart. I love wild trees that stand apart and stark, beaten by wind and rain and stinging hail, nurtured by centuries of sun and dark of countless nights. Trees that withstand the flail of lightnings and the bellowing thunder's roar, aloof, supreme, unmindful of the storms. Instead, the rhythms of their lines pour like flowing sap within their valiant forms, until, like flames against the wind, they sway in upward thrusts and convoluting sweeps, breasting the tempest, peaceful in the day of breeze and the immeasurable deeps. For grace and courage in this human life, grant us the beauty trees have found through strife. Gently easing your awareness back to the flow of your breath. Bring in some small movements, your fingers and your toes. Being gentle with yourself as you roll to one side, and take some time to rest and breathe on your side before you make your way back to seated. And as you do make your way back to seated, we'll take the hands to the heart. Taking a moment to offer yourself gratitude for finding the space for your practice this morning. For taking care of yourself so that when you roll up your mat, you can show up in your most beautiful form for those around you. Even if those around you are in another home. Taking a moment once again to offer loving kindness to the person who you dedicated your practice to, your person or your people. And just surrounding them with health, with wellness, with loving kindness. Weaving our voices together one more time as we close our practice. Draw a deep breath in. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning, for joining in. I can't tell you what a huge, huge gift it is in my life to have these classes to share and this time together with our O2 community and beyond, all of the beautiful souls that have tuned in today. I'm so grateful from the very bottom of my heart. The divine light in me honors and acknowledges the divine light within all of you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you. Lots of love, everyone. Thank you for being here.